Pokemon Legends ZA delivers a worthy, real-time battling experiment ripe for building upon. It's ironic that a series primarily known for evolution has had a poor habit of following its own advice lately. I say this since any sane person would admit the so-called HD era of Pokemon hasn't been as successful as it perhaps should have. Weird additions like Gigantamaxing, barren open zones, and a less linear structure all ended up vying to make the mainline series seem more, well, evolved than it has ended up being. Game Freak has seemingly been in a bit of a tizz when trying to keep the core fundamentals of Pokemon fresh. When it comes to true experimentation, it's the Legends subseries players have come to rely upon, and thankfully, ZA is no exception. While the switch to real-time battling and a single city isn't totally perfect, Pokemon Legends ZA provides all manner of gameplay twists that helps infuse the franchise's core elements of creature collecting and battling with a new freshness. In some ways, it's successful. In others, the experience hasn't necessarily been improved per se, it's just different. By and large, however, reaching the top of the ZA Royale League and trying to solve the mystery of rogue mega-evolved Pokemon is a fun and wholesome ride while it lasts. One that also leapfrogs most of the series' technical issues to look and play extremely neatly on Nintendo Switch 2. Initially, there doesn't seem to be much to set Pokemon Legends ZA apart from any other game in the series. You play as an up-and-coming Pokemon trainer recently arrived in a new city, quickly thrust into a world of espionage and given a cutesy starter creature to go out and do good with. So far, so standard as far as catching them all goes. Eventually though, your ultimate goal becomes less about catching absolutely every single Pokemon you see and more about simply investigation, trying to nurse and grow the creatures you already have into a strong fighting team to then slowly claw your way from rank Z to rank A. Your character may even potentially save Lumio City from a secretly brewing dastardly plot in the process. Legends ZA isn't exactly groundbreaking when it comes to its story then, yet it offers a good enough foundation to bring in some never before seen elements and mechanics. Chief amongst them, of course, is the move to real-time battling, which honestly does a lot to give this return trip to the Kalos region a distinct flavour. The main benefit to it is that battles are given a fresh sense of urgency, since fighting rival Pokemon is no longer about taking your time and strategizing your moves, but reacting to what moves your opponent is unleashing as and when they happen. The best thing you can do then is respond accordingly, whether that be by swapping out creatures for a different member of your party on the fly, or leaning onto other move types that are either more effective or can be unleashed far quicker. I can honestly say that Pokemon Legends ZA's real-time battling injects some much needed excitement into the core act of battling, especially since, depending on whether you're battling unclaimed Pokemon in wild zones or against trainers in designated battle zones, you can use stealth to catch your rivals off guard or better prepare your fights as best you can. Real-time battling isn't perfect though, and at its worst it can simply boil down to endless amounts of button mashing while you rotate through your equipped Pokemon's moves as you wait for each's cooldown to complete. Then there's the fact that moves sometimes won't land or take effect if blocked by a random piece of the world's geometry, like say a bush or a bench, but thankfully such wonkiness only tends to crop up here and there. Strategy during traditional battles isn't entirely out of the window either, but there's no doubt that the move from turn-based to real-time has seen it dialed back quite a bit. Most impacted are familiar passive effects such as confusion, paralysis, sleep, and so on. Most of these no longer outright stun your Pokemon or make it so they can't deal out attacks. They instead tend to just slow them down quite significantly, which seems like a fair trade-off to help keep the action involving and engaging. Whether or not such a drastic change to classic moves will be considered sacrilege by series veterans remains to be seen. However, it does require you to rework your brain slightly from what it's been used to for the past 3 decades. Since Lumio City essentially functions as its own independent open world this time around, there's a good deal of activities to get stuck into. They range from standard main missions that will see you climb up the ZA Royale League, of course, all the way to side missions that will see you solving the issues of the city's inhabitants, and research-driven Pokédex tasks where you help Mabel, a local scientist, learn more about the notable mega evolution phenomenon that is causing certain creatures to go rogue without a trainer. Overall, I would say the type of activities Pokemon Legends ZA offers is substantial without ever feeling overwhelming. There's a decent sense of freedom here following the game's initial 2-hour tutorial, which for long-timers may feel like a slog. Where Pokemon Legends ZA falls down with regards to its world is just how lifeless it can feel as you're exploring. Sure, Lumio City is plenty populated with both humans and Pokemon alike, yet there's always a significant amount of pop-in required to get them there. This, combined with the already pretty dated and static looking art style, won't do much to win over naysayers like myself who think that, this many generations on, one of Nintendo's premier franchises should and could look a lot better. Even then though, I still find myself getting a kick out of seeing my own personal fan favourite Pokemon like say Totodile and Beedrill rendered in this way, unleashing familiar attacks with all new real-time animations. Pokemon Legends ZA might not be as evolutionary an entry as the change to real-time Pokemon battles might suggest, yet I do feel happy that this pretty significant barrier has now been broken to help lay the foundation for something truly new to come later on down the line. It makes for a unique style of game that feels noticeably distinct, even compared to Pokemon Legends Arceus, and something I can't wait to see built upon. For the most part, Lumio City is a joy to explore here, and competing in battle zones with my team to become ZA Royale Champion makes for a nice alternate to claiming all 8 of a region's badges. The real-time battling isn't necessarily better than turn-based, yet it is refreshingly different. In this way, alongside many others, I applaud Pokemon Legends ZA for attempting new things, even if all of them aren't always pulled off so gracefully. We at All Out Gaming give Pokemon Legends ZA a 3 out of 5. So there you have it guys, in terms of our full review for Pokemon Legends ZA. Do you plan on picking this one up? Be sure to let us know in the comment section below. Then why not subscribe to the All Out Gaming YouTube channel to stay up to date with even more videos like this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.